Hey, hello. How's everyone tonight? A good evening to you. My name is Foda Atobra, and this is Practical Nyamesem. First of all, I welcome you to Reflections for a Thirsty Soul page. There's 3 lives that we do every week. Saturdays is Practical Nyamesem, but I'll talk about that a little later. The day may change. And on Sundays, we have a live on my second book, The Beauty of a Woman's page. And Thursdays, Amaju and I do any topic of interest on Rise Up Woman. So the book that you saw, the first book is Reflections for a Thirsty Soul, and it can be found in Amazon, Freezing Press, Barnes and Nobles, Google Books, and iTunes. So what we do every day is we read a little bit from it. So I'm going to do that, and then I will share to groups, and we'll start on today's topics. Okay. So today it's called Redefining You. Today is Ghana's Independence Day, March 6th, to 64 years. So these are my colors that I have on. Red, gold, green, and the black star in the middle. That's the colors of our flag. That's the little that I can do. But being as every year you need to reflect and go to a new page, a new level. I'll read this, Redefining You. There comes a time when you need to stop and take a look at yourself. First of all, how well do you know yourself? Are you where you want to be? What is standing in the way of you getting where you want to be? So those are some questions for you to think about while I share to group. I trust that you had a good week and you are doing your best to rest. It's hard to rest though. The weekend just, what do you call it? The days just go so fast, but hey. Okay. Good. So yeah, I trust that people have been in a celebratory mood, if I'm to use that word, but the cynic in me might also ask, what are we celebrating? But it's all good. Let me keep quiet before people come and throw stones and eggs at me. Yeah, so I have a few groups to share to, so just bear with me. Yeah, so anyway, I've been trying my hardest to rest. I just get these bouts of fatigue. I mean, it comes with the territory aging, eh? So, but you got to take good care of yourself. Actually, I would say I've been very good. I've been very good this year in the sense of I've been, what do you call it? I've been exercising. I got a bit lazy and off track this week, but all the same, it's not like I'm not saying that I never exercised this week. I still have, but sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm tired, my brain. But hey, it's all good. So where's the last group? Actually, there's one more. So that's the one thing that I took up this year, that I'm happy to say that I'm making progress on that front. So, and the thing that I find too is that, what do you call it? I'm finding that the weather is also getting nicer out there. So it's cooperating. It's just that we have some snow in front of our cul-de-sac. So you ask yourself, okay, am I going to wear my winter boots, or am I going to go wear my, what do you call it? Wear my winter boots or wear runners, right? But the sidewalks are clear. So I'm only talking about it because I'm happy to say that I will be, what do you call it? I'll be venturing out there pretty soon. So yes. Oops, I've not been looking at comments. Oh, hello, ladies. Mamle, hello. Nice to see you. Amajo, welcome. So now that I've finished sharing to the to the groups, we're going to talk about today's topic, and let me bring the banner up. So, fear of man. Basically, it's from a scripture. I think it's Proverbs 29 verse 25. And it says, fear of man is a snare. So today, that's what we're going to talk about. And isn't it a lovely topic to be having on a day like this, March 6th? Yeah. So I'll start by defining fear. For me, I always like definitions. So I'll say fear is an emotion that we've all felt at one time or other. Those are just my comments. It's part of everyday life. In short, no one can say they've never felt fear. But the problem with it is it's how, yeah, what's confusing? Oh, the weather? Hello, sweetie. So, it's how you allow the fear to overcome you. It's how you handle it is what's the problem. So actually, the dictionary definition that I have is fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. And I'm sure you've heard this. I don't know what it's called, but when you take the first letter of a word, you take all the words of a letter and then you form something with it. So fear is false evidence appearing real. Now, let me tell you, one of my greatest fears when I was a child, when I was young, is losing my parents, any of them. It was in the back of my mind. So like when we grew up, when I'm talking to my sister and my younger sister and I bring it up, I say, these are the thoughts that used to be in my mind. I would say, if my father passed away, his relatives would just come and take everything and would become poor. If my mother passed away, my dad would remarry and I would have a wicked stepmother to deal with. Mamle says it's actually an activating force, but when it's dysfunctional, then we must get help with it. True. Thank you. So these are the fears that went through my mind, because you hear of people, parents passing away, especially the fathers, because they would have been the main breadwinners. Like in my day, women work too, but there's been a greater change recently too. So little kids, that was what bothered me the most. So when my father passed away, I was 35, but I shouldn't say thankfully, but you know what I mean, because in that sense, our youngest sister was 22 and she was in uni at the time. So we breathed a sigh of relief. We said, well, thank God that we were not little kids. So yeah, so those were one of my greatest fears. Hello, Miss Sage. Welcome, 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 beautiful Miss Sage. So, to me, based on the research that I did for this thing, there's two types of fear that I know of. There's fear of God. So in Proverbs 1, I believe you will read about healthy fear of God, right? And then there's fear of man. Now, when we say fear of God, it's like a sense of respect or reverence and submission to God. Like in Job 28:28, Job says, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. So for me, that's a healthy, like we all grew up, most of us, message Mama Jochio, most of us grew up with some form of faith or other, whether you were Christian, Muslim, whatever. So the society was very big on morals, right and wrong. So we know that, right? And when those principles are guiding you, I kind of, you obey a bonnet, but you kind of, you watch how you go about the bonnet. And there's a scripture even that says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. But today, however, we're going to talk about the fear of man. You see, when we were kids, we were taught to respect elders, especially authority figures. You have to be obedient, you have to be respectful, all that kind of stuff. Those were good values to have, but depending where you end up living, it could also be negative for you later in life. Because some of us, when we came here, we had to readjust our thinking. Like when you're at home, you can't look an adult in the eye when you're greeting because it's disrespectful. I have that in First Nations culture too, because I work with them, the same thing, right? So you have to learn how to become confident, because basically, and I'm sorry too that we went to put fear in you. Actually, we were timid. I'll put it just like that. So fear of man it immobilizes us from speaking up. So there I'll tie in the background. When I came here, I was all of 26. I didn't know my left and my right. And it's like you have to change certain things. So like I find that as we are very secretive, but these people too, they are very open. You can't say plain, sometimes if you are sitting there with your secrets and you won't speak up, don't get anybody to help you. Oh, because we are so timid that we feel that even when we speak, we're going to offend or upset somebody. Yeah. So it's become like, my notes, I said we are docile people, bete, boko, we're helpless. The farmer nyame syndrome. Baby, a farmer nyame, okunkura, was a farmer nyame. Yeah. So also fear of man can silence us when we need to speak up. Oh boy, we are not bold. We are not bold because of the way these are my opinions. I think so the way the way that we were brought up, not it's like baby a like even a woman, oh, you're supposed to be quiet and calm. Until when you are somebody who acquire a girlfriend or hard dream or giddy or banana or you did just everything, it seems to be they are suppressing you into submission to you. Oh no, you don't have a voice. Like who speaks for the children? Maybe these days they are speaking, but in my time, no fear. Oh papa aba na udi mirika gigigigi because wakacha or say enkotwa lorry kwan mu wakotwa lorry kwan mu na afro hu se ne kaa aba ntia na ye bebo. Into these kinds of things we're very very timid. Oh, we don't know how to speak up and let our voice be heard. And also fear of man, it has an impact on our self-esteem. We are afraid to be ourselves for fear of offending others. Because I don't know, like like if you don't teach a child to say in this environment, children are taught. Okay, I'll give you one example. Like you can't lie to children here because they speak the truth. What do you say? And then here's a mother who tell their child, say, oh, asemesi me who say baba to the oba catch and say me dware. O kasi me dware a obeko. Meanwhile, you are just in your room. You don't want to see the person. When you are doing this, no, akola no susuro. If they do any okokra no okoka bibi kra wo bebo no. Their they will do what you're asking them to do, even though maybe in their little minds, Rebecca said this doesn't seem right, but we a penny so they young can was no ya kola, what I say. Until we put that fear. We yes, trust me, yes, we are. And it's like you are afraid to be yourself. To say, say you are not. I'll use women again. You're forcing nipa say monware. Some people, some of us know, oh my choice to be anka. Rebecca said Debbie. Because I've said this before. Who bronia? And ya worry no they are in a tag and no. What am I say? And also person koye bibi. Rebecca so no your madrum and memedrum had an award bow or yes say drumano. And to me, well, that's what you're interested in. You want to be like a power mechanic or an engineer or something. Oh, no, what's the point? What's the use? And self-esteem, like we are not taught to speak up. Bibi amwano. Oh, you come when you're fachano. And you are growing up with all these resentments inside you. And you think it's the right way. So it makes you always angry because you are not allowed to express yourself. So you are angry. And depending which position that you are in the family, you'll get all the anger. If you are the firstborn like me, that when it's time for people to cook, they are running away to parties and it's not their turn. And then your mother won't say anything and watch them go and do whatever. It makes you angry. or you have to be responsible for everybody. It's like you can't even be yourself. Maybe I remember one time, I think it was when my father had passed away, and we went to his hometown to have his funeral, and a week later we were having a memorial at North Carnage, my house. And so one of my aunties, she was going home with her uncle, my mom's younger sister. And that uncle of mine has since passed away, but at the time my aunt was having some side problems. So I think that their daughter wanted to stay behind. She's the same age as my younger sister. They wanted to stay behind. And then all my uncle said is, how can mama be going and the daughter not be going? Like, she has no choice, right? She can't say that. Oh yeah, then Koka say hey, into then they had to go. I think finally they had to go. Yeah, then all corner no soon could be, where Kwapim, so the way he said it, and I still remember it. Boko no bibi a boko fear o kasa too much. Oh, wasem ye den dodo. Shut up, oh your bar, oh you say, it doesn't make you confident. And to say bibi or hokwana, we've become in the society, because I don't know whether colonial mentality no dear no. It is say somebody's like this and somebody has to be below. And in the beer or nipa no feel so higher, maybe your life depends something, you need something from them. Or ye be na on pekwa ujina how you just smile laughing sycophantly. Oh, why a sycophant? Just a throw any category the amount, to me you can't be yourself to express yourself because you rely on that person. Oh, yeah. And so because of this too, we become people pleasers because we fear men. You see. Message says fear literally cripples us. It pulls us backwards instead of forwards, instead of moving us forward. Fear makes us stagnant, just as stagnant waters that do us no good. It is true, because even right now, you are there, you have something on your heart that you want to do. But because of all this baggage that you are carrying, a self-doubt, instead of say, I've said it before. I was listening to a live that I did in September, and I was saying that Thomas Alva Edison, no, yeah, lights, no. Do you know how many times he tried it before he got it right? And so, yeah, they who make it one mistake, who quarantine, me yeah, na yeah, you'll be a streaming to me, and then we stop ourselves, and then you are stagnant. Just usifako. One exam be alkoya failing to give up. Yeah, but can't free. I won't medium to me. Instead of saying, failure is not a bad thing. Sometimes it moves you, it makes you reconsider and take another direction, or it makes you reconsider and push on that same path and say, hey, I'll try again. But you need some question and you'll be no nyan so be push you so born home you say. I think say we are better at pulling down syndrome. Say ukoye bibi na ebeboa wo no ebi kura na nipa na ewo ho no benya mfaso no though rather na wo ade we akwakoye me kura me nkoye na wo koye bi hwe wo ka ase sa na ye no tina wo ba bi o me call ma anye ya ma me you to don't go, you fail. Then we say it like that because fear. A lot of the reasons why we are not making any progress in life is because of fear. And me no, my imagine is me hono me mo be and so to stop me from doing anything that I have to do. And it just me feeling my catch and who's I've hit a wall, I can't do it. But me too me can be discussing would say to I said I would say permission. Some people like they lacking in self-esteem that they need to ask for people's advice before they can do anything. And he said, "Na down for no, I'm money okay. I know I oh yeah sure. Who feels me to me? I mean, like it's your life. There's boundaries. You can ask. It's good to ask for counsel. There's wise counsel, but you can ask 10 people. At the end of the day, you have to make that decision. So why don't you cut it down? 10 people to quiet doors. But that's what some people do because they are so indecisive. Oh. And like people pleasers, no, I said that we suck up to people because of what we can get from them. Nipan kwa penasem so is can ojojo to feel on so jojo kakra krantino sika obenyantino to me kan kyerɛ ne sɛ madam for the awoye me pene udi n'akyi. Last be also for be Ghana me modin. I saw something on Facebook. I said, "Oh, sir, me name say party be odeo." And any pair trying to question, yeah, born who say na ke. It's sure all those people around him. And the question I ask myself is, are all those people around him, are they for real? Do they really like him, or is because of what they can get from him? And there was money being thrown around. Doing Yankov said, "Yes, sit here." On per wasam ano abɛbɛn o sika kakra obenya bi a ɔkyene ene. You see, poverty no so ka ho bi. Some will not give you the encouragement you need from them. Yeah. It, it do stage where, like for me, I've become so used to it that I just advise myself if I want to do something and I can do. Like, of course, if you need to ask people for advice, you can do that. But sometimes the people that you ask for advice from, they turn on you and they want to behave something. Like it's a fine line. Also, fear of man stops us from having a backbone. We become like chameleons. Chameleon will change the color to fit every situation. Because on naha, no adaho, no aye blue. At 2 times say you're red. Adia no or no pet so you're orange and not blue for and no wako join it. So they are not happy, so they are free to be anything else. Until we mold ourselves to fit any situation. Yeah. I think the fear of man, it makes us indecisive. We are afraid to take action for fear will upset others. Ebi a unu bi ye bibi, o maami bi ye bibi, and as yes you me fan say secondary school kwa o koye say koye sa course we go and do this, and ye no na ope, and so ye force you. Usro nti no to me nka hwe na wote ho wa ye de na de kodi na me nya meti ho sa. One of these old movies, I like it so much. I could have found while you were sleeping. So there was this 2 sons in the movie back here. In case of a lawyer, so then hot shot lawyer be Omuana Busuafo, na the other one was on any papaya business, furniture business. Second son, no sell no furniture business, he was carving very beautiful chairs and near the end, at the last, at a trial, so he'll catch her and papa say, "On to me." And then in maybe he wants to break out, but it took him such a long time to gather the courage to speak up that I don't want to work with you. I want to go out on my own. A lot of us are in those situations. Either say, yeah, share your muscle, and also be share your so say do things a certain way, but say it's not in line with your spirit or what you want to do. Well, like I've said a lot. And then because of our fears, because we rely so much on people's opinions, we judge our self-worth by others. Instead of say, wow, no, okay, many kasa. This is the idea she gave me. Many messages, so kasa, this is the idea she gave me, but I want this. Okay, well, maybe I'll take a little bit of this, I'll take a little bit of that. And so, boo hokrana or my advice, no one fan, and also me boo, so we any pressure be automatically the person only came to ask you for advice and just say why would a man advice na one fan a lot of us are using these kind of dynamics and situations to oppress other people. We have to let people live freely. It's called liberty. Obebusao, you don't own them. They are not your child. They are a friend, acquaintance, or family relative. One for advice na enyehe. Or kokra be a woman good advice no or they went tea and they want to do something else. So they themselves will tell themselves, I see a kind of mentee. Sometimes we need to leave people to also learn their lessons. It's not us. We can't direct people's lives for them. They'll be an own tea until just leave them. What about your culture say, look at how things are. We are so afraid to branch out and do things. Just say, "Oh, kasakra ni shut up, ni abedi watem," because you are A, you are not B. So if you are B and I'm A, then we're against each other. And so I you say we can be on different sides of a coin and just walk side by side, despite us not having the same mindset or same outlook on a particular situation. Ye name no sir, attempted no because of this fear of people, people force themselves to accept other opinions or to be dragged into things that they don't like. What am I say? Oh, part of family for MPP, I don't know NDC. Oh, family for NDC, I don't know. Does it matter? Does it matter? We have this up here, right? We have the gray matter. It was given to us for a reason. You are not brought on this earth to live in fear. If you're going to be fearful, you're going to operate in only possibly 10%, 20, 30 of your potential because you are looking to man. Fear of man brings a snare. Look, you'll never be afraid of a man. You'll never be afraid of a man. I'll read you a scripture, and that scripture is very powerful. I wrote a few of them, like Proverbs 29:25 says, the fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe. Up to now. I always told myself, if you're going to get to know me, you get to know me through the work I do. And yes, a new boss, abantinum be to make up up to the new boss. No, many other. Me are the answer. I'm not saying it's every time be a 100% correct. No, but there are people who sacrifice their self-respect because they want to carry or gain favor with people. To sucking up. And here, baby. And then Hebrews 13:6 says, so we can confidently say, the Lord is my helper. I will not fear. What can man do to me? Say, me no Ghana for you see a Christopher mappa, right? A Christopher mappa no so no. Nyamesem, this is what he's saying. Think about it. Yanko commercial break and me female. Where am I? Other one is okay. So we are back. I read a little snippet of redefining yourself at the beginning, so I'll just take 2 more sentences. Are there things you can change to get where you want to be? These are questions that need some serious reflection. Might I interest you in a few things you might wish to consider? Find out what you like to do and do your very best at it. That's for you to think about, just a life lesson tip. So, like I was saying, Hebrews 13:6 says, so we can confidently say, the Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can man do to me? And you mean American? That is the Bible. So what you also Christian, and so nam na usro nipa. Why should you be fearful, afraid of a human being? Psalm 118:8 says, it is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in men. Now to the final scripture. I'll read it 2 times if I have to. Isaiah 2:22. It says, stop regarding man, in whose nostrils is breath, for of what account is he? Mankind view. Stop regarding man, in whose nostrils is breath, for of what account is he? Think about it. Ohome, onoso home. No tiho na usuro. He could be gone in a minute. You could be gone in a minute. Or ye nipa. And so ye mupe brain, ye rare. The reason why I'm saying this, ye rare she nipa mu. Nyankopon na yesi agye na edi no, these words that I'm reading, they are in the Bible. Nyame na me church Robert na ha. But yesi ye Christo form so hypocrisy yet yon yesu. Oh yes amasa, tembia yes amasa ade. Ono no bo. Ade unko kocho jo humbo Nyankopon pai so omwa na tembia yes amasa. Uso no afa kuraba no wesi ha. Ufo no wesi ha usre wada ne stressful. Meanwhile ma wadwene se bo homode na ye adwuma. Akwadworo nti ye mu pii, we don't want to work until we go begging. Yadani are stressful. Meanwhile, you are talented in something that all you need is maybe just a little something to push you, or that little And yes, will be, but something to get you on the path. Now, instead of seeking the right approach, the right, what give up, and now stress, just why you will be a boy, and so meanwhile, you could be doing something productive with your life. To me, mom, dear, I know, so say your culture, no, they don't like people who speak up because we like lies. They say lies, lies, and more lies. I have a video on that. Yeah, patro, young kind of crunch, that is the cause of our downfall. And if you are an individual, you are listening to me. Now say, sound no, and trunketing, and what who the nipa who show mu because of fear of man, it to me kind of correct. If you are not doing the yes, master, you'll be tagged with a different. I wouldn't. I don't know. Yes, I know. Yes, oh, yeah. Oh, who speak your mind? But you know what? What I said, you speak up or forever hold your peace. And then throw under Marie's life is not only for weddings. If there's something that affects you, speak up about it when you have the opportunity. And there's no reason. This message is especially for the youth. There's no reason to walk around in life being afraid of people. If you have so much fear inside you, you've already lost the battle. You've lost it because you are not going to be bold enough. If you are fearful, you are not a confident person. You're always afraid. Well, who's coming? What's happening? No. Like, who was it? Was it Ahmad Joe? We were having this conversation that here we are talking, they draw you out. Oh, what do you think? What is your idea? Now, yeah, when somebody talks, oh, shut up, oh, too known, are you talking again? Look at the insults that have been flying around on Facebook because people are speaking their minds about what is going on back home. So we shouldn't try to suppress people. Don't suppress people. Allow people to be. Allow people to speak their truth. Yeah, so with that said, that's it for tonight. Fear of man. I hope that it was helpful for you and you took something from it. And for anybody coming after, please certainly leave your comments. We'll look at them and respond. Thank you all so much. Tomorrow we're on with Amajo and YAA'S at 5 p.m. Edmonton Standard Time. And the topic is contentment, a priceless gem. And on Thursday, Amajo and I will be on with a topic that is yet to be decided, but you'll know in due time. So, thank you guys. So for this program, Practical Nyamesem, I see that spring is coming. So like right now I don't mind, I've been doing 2 lives on the weekends. So I'm going to have to change one. The Sunday will stay the same, but I'm going to have to change the Saturday because spring is coming. I'll be going outside. There's grandchildren. There's things that so you need time to do those. So I free myself up. So I'm thinking either Tuesdays or Fridays, but I'm not sure. It probably might be Tuesday, but it won't be this Tuesday. So the next time that I'll be on will be probably March the 16th. Yes, I'm still decided. I'm not, what do you call it? This is my decision to make. I'm not being indecisive. It's like Friday appeals to me because if you do it on a Friday, you are fine. Then you don't need to think about it. No pressure. You can relax. There's no work the next day. If I do it Tuesday, you're like, oh, okay, I have to prepare for Tuesday, but then I'm working tomorrow. Then you'll be all, but what was going for me is that if I do it Tuesday, I prefer it because you still have the weekend, like a Saturday, you still have the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to still prepare. So I think we'll stick with Tuesday. So we'll see you back on March 16th. There will be no Practical Nyamesem next Saturday. I'll move it to Tuesdays. Tuesdays, I believe it will be 6:30 or 7. You'll see the time when I put it out. Thank you so much putting up with my rambling. Take care. Have a good week. Love you guys. Bye-bye.